Let's bring in our legal panel now. Avery Friedman, a civil rights attorney, he's in Cleveland, and Richard Herman, a criminal defense attorney, joining us from Las Vegas. So Richard, part of the tape that stands out, we didn't show it here, but part of it that stands out is the fact that, for example, he didn't know what month it was. He seemed kind of completely aloof, clearly no empathy whatsoever. Could the defense end up using that to their advantage to make the case that perhaps he didn't realize the extent of what he was doing? It seems like he does.
Well, you know, Boris, what's going on here is this is a conditioning portion of the trial. It's the guilt phase and the punishment phase. And during the guilt phase, the government is trying to condition the jury to put him to death in the penalty phase. Because, let's face it, as far as liability goes here, there were 77 rounds of hollow point .45 caliber shells on the floor, 9 people murdered. He admitted it. He admitted it in his manifesto. The FBI did a surgical interrogation, which we just listened to. He admitted to the hate crimes. He admitted to the premeditation, the mens rea needed for murder. So you've got an admission. You've got murder, 9 murder convictions, federal hate crime convictions. The question is there any mitigation for this individual? And in federal death penalty cases, there's only about 60 inmates that are facing the death penalty federally in the United States right now, compared to 3,000 state. Very difficult to get a death penalty conviction and to have it put in play federally.
Richard,
Boris, the judge already made a ruling on that. He took a hearing and he ruled he's competent to do this. The interesting portion here is this. Early on in the case, the defense attorneys, who are very competent death penalty attorneys, wanted to introduce evidence of mental instability. Dylann Roof said no. So when we get to the punishment phase, Dylann's going to handle that himself. He is not going to put in a mental instability defense. There's not going to be mitigation. He's going to get the death penalty here, Boris.
Avery Friedman, Richard Herman, thank you gentlemen so much for spending a part of your weekend with us. We'll be back with more news after a quick break.